Hello and welcome to this video tutorial on how to use the WF-RepTool by reporters. In this video I want to explain you how to go on regarding output or yield data from next treatment steps. As we ended in the video information on next treatment steps, for fractions delivered to an interim technology, the output fractions have to be given as yield data. If you come to this page first time, the list of output fractions is empty and you have to start with Add Fractions. Regarding the question how to find and choose the correct name for the output fractions, please see the video How to Find Correct Output Fractions. The question here is output or yield data from next treatment steps, how to achieve and provide. In general, output or yield data and all following information on the fractions achieved have to be provided by the acceptor of the fraction. You have to ask the acceptor to provide these data, e.g. under the frame of downstream monitoring. As I recommended already in a former video, you shall agree to get downstream data already with agreeing a contract with the acceptor. If you by yourself are the next step treatment operator, this question should be answered easier. In principle, you have to get yield data for first priority, your fraction, or second option, for a fraction very similar to your fraction. For getting these data, you should, first priority, get data from treatment in daily practice, so from routine treatment. Or, second option, to run a batch to treat this, so your or a very similar material, and to determine yield data. Yield data achieved may be entered to the WF-RepTool like explained for first fractions. See the video How to Fill in Data on First Fractions. If the output fraction is treated with other materials in daily routine and the batch may not be organized, e.g. on base of the low amount of the output fraction, we have to ask ourselves what to do if yield data are not available. As a first option, we recommend to determine the composition of the fraction and ask the acceptor about the technology applied and to which subfractions the output fraction would be separated. In case of a fraction of pieces of material, a handpicking analysis is recommended to determine the possible output fractions. In case of compound fractions, like for example cables, circuit boards or similar, you may determine the composition of the fraction, e.g. by a few analyses, estimations, information or estimations from experts or similar, and possible yield fractions must be estimated. Some examples on yield data. As some first examples, please consider when you forward fractions from dismantling, so plastic parts, glass parts or similar, to further processing. There will be, most of the time, some percent of residues from separation. 100% of pure plastics or glass pieces as yield fractions going to any final process and the use being classified as recycling is low plausible and should be checked. A yield of a copper fraction from cables higher than 40% should be checked. Plus, an only remaining fraction of cable plastics being 100% used in products is low plausible and should be checked. There is often a further separation in case the product achieved should be approved. See final technologies. Very similar for circuit boards from dismantling being further separated, a yield of higher than 40% of metals should be checked. Normally there is a separation of an iron and an aluminium fraction before a circuit board fraction is forwarded to, most common, a copper smelter. A yield of hard plastics from circuit boards seems low plausible and will only be the case if there is a rough dismantling of circuit boards with plastic frames. So have a look at your fraction, check the plausibility. You may see other examples in the guidance document which we provide at our website. In general, you should be a little bit critical on very general data given by acceptors. You should all the time have your fraction in mind and check the plausibility of data provided. In case, you should ask at your acceptor if data are really given for your fraction forwarded to him. For each of the subfractions achieved or estimated, you have to give information on what happens with them, in case you have to estimate on base of information gathered from the acceptor. So see the information on subfractions in daily business and technologies applied for them. Step by step, you shall get these information for your fraction from your acceptors. For fractions forwarded to final technologies, please see the video Fractions to Final Technologies. How to edit yield data, in case you may get new, more accurate yield data from your acceptor. To edit yield data, you have to find the treatment step, see e.g. via the overview or the graph, see other videos to explain, to come to the treatment of page with the yield of output fractions. And you may change the yield of subfractions, here for example 28% of copper. If you change the share of one fraction and click anywhere beside or the submit button, the weight of the yield fraction achieved will be automatically calculated on base of the weight of the incoming output fraction. The total of yield fractions will be checked. In case of not being at 100%, the color will change. See the video help feature check total. If you have already entered yield fractions from the next treatment step of the subfraction, you will have to adapt them too. See the help features on red shades when working in the overview or with the graph. Like everywhere, with Submit, you will take over changes to the database. For more information, please have a look at our website, where we provide a demo version under Purchase, FAQs. All details on how to create a report are explained in the user manual report level. If you have any questions or remarks, please use the Contact Us option and let us know. Thank you for your attention and goodbye.